Hi there. Let's go over final digestion and absorption. All right, in the first question, the mice that did not have the bacteria in their gut got sick more easily because the bacteria that we find in our gut can help us stay healthy. What else can you do to stay healthy? Well, of course, you can eat well and get lots of sleep and exercise. And of course, in this day, staying germ-free, practicing good hygiene, washing your hands, etc., will go a long way. Identify the main idea. You're looking at the text that's on the page, and this is about the small intestine, so we write down small intestine there. The three most important details were in bold in this section here. Most of the chemical digestion occurs in the small intestine. Absorption also occurs in the small intestine. And the liver, pancreas, and the lining of the small intestine all produce chemicals that aid with chemical digestion. The page is about the gallbladder, liver, and the pancreas. The liver is this really large organ that sits just underneath your diaphragm, and it makes bile, along with a lot of other things, but we're just concentrating on that right now. That bile will get stored in this bag-like structure that sits right under the liver, and that's called the gallbladder. The gallbladder will release the bile, and it'll pass through this tube into the small intestine. Sitting also close by is the pancreas, which produces a lot of different chemicals or enzymes that help with digesting all three kinds of food. That would be protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And that too will release those chemicals into that tube and then into the small intestine. A blockage, all right, that's this question over here, between the gallbladder and the small intestine will prevent bile from getting into the small intestine. Given that bile breaks down fats or helps break them apart, the person will have a tough time digesting fats. This page is really about the villi. The villi are these finger-like structures that increase surface area in the small intestine so more nutrients can be absorbed. Without the villi, the surface area would be pretty small. And given that there are folds within the small intestine, and those folds have folds, and it's those secondary folds that are the villi, that increases the surface area over 400 times, meaning that if you were to take the small intestine, which is 25 feet long, and lay it out flat as can be, it would be the size of a tennis court. More surface area means more opportunity for those food molecules to get soaked up and passed into the body. All right. If the villi get destroyed through some type of disease, then that person is going to have a tough time absorbing food. The liver and the pancreas produce chemicals that help break down food, and those chemicals get added, as we said earlier, to the small intestine. All right, and the villi help the small intestine by promoting or increasing the surface area, providing more space for food to be absorbed. And the small intestine, the liver, and the pancreas all work together to help complete digestion. The small intestine also will absorb the nutrients as well. Okay. This page I gave to you, so I don't think we need to go over that. And this is a nice page that summarizes the main or key parts of the digestive system. We've got the mouth here that is going to mechanically grind up the food with the teeth. And then also that's where saliva is produced, and that's going to help break down the starches chemically. Once food moves through the esophagus down into the stomach, pepsin and acid will help to chemically break down the proteins that are in the stomach. And furthermore, all of the muscle that is around the stomach will produce a lot of churning and mixing, contributing to mechanical digestion. Once that milkshake-like material, that's what it's like, I would call it chyme, gets once that stuff is ready, it will pass into the small intestine where chemical digestion will be completed. Chemicals from the liver and the pancreas will be added, and that will help with that. Once the food is broken down into its smallest particles, it can then be absorbed into the body. The remains that don't get absorbed pass into the large intestine. The large intestine will absorb any water that's left over, along with the bacteria that's in this large intestine will help create vitamin D. Large intestine will get vitamin D from that, and then it will ready the waste to be eliminated. What role do bacteria play in the large intestine? Well, they produce the vitamin D that we just talked about. Finally, this big summary, and I gave you a clue that I was looking really for two key words. this is about digestion and absorption. How does a food become materials your body can use? First, it has to be broken down through chemical and mechanical digestion, and then it can be absorbed, and that occurs in the small intestine. Now I know that the large intestine's role is to absorb water and ready materials for elimination from the body. Okay, so I hope that helped.